Imagine waking up one morning and your legs don't work. Not because you were in an accident, not because of a scan that found damage, and not because doctors can point to a clear reason why. Imagine that. They just don't respond. You try to stand, and your brain, it sends out the signal, but your body just doesn't answer. Imagine being told that just because your MRI is normal, or your blood work is clean, or because your symptoms, they don't follow a neat rulebook, that this somehow means that you're not really sick. That maybe you're just anxious. Maybe you're just stressed. Maybe you're doing this without realizing that you are. This is how functional neurological disorder often begins. Not with clarity, not with care, but with confusion, fear, and disbelief. FND doesn't announce itself. It doesn't. It's not a polite condition. It takes your voice mid-sentence. It drops you to the floor without warning. It scrambles your ability to walk, to speak, to see, or think, sometimes for minutes, sometimes for months. And then it hands you a second trauma, trying to convince the world that you are not making it up. Because FND, it lives in the space between medicine, where symptoms are real, suffering is real, but certainty, it's not. And when medicine doesn't understand something, the patients, we pay the price. FND is a condition where the nervous system is not functioning correctly. Not because the brain is damaged, not because neurons are dying, not because of any of those reasons, but because the brain is having trouble sending and receiving signals properly. The hardware itself, the brain and everything, is intact, but the software is malfunctioning. And that's not a metaphor. It's a neurological reality. Signals that control movement, sensation, speech, vision, and awareness, they become disrupted, delayed, misrouted, or shut off entirely. And that disruption is involuntary. People with FND aren't choosing their symptoms. We're not exaggerating. We're not confused about our own bodies. Our nervous systems are misfiring. FND, it can affect almost any neurological function. Symptoms may include weakness, paralysis in one or more limbs. They can include tremors, spasms, uncontrolled movements, difficulty walking or sudden falls, speech loss, slurred speech, stuttering, vision changes or vision loss, sensory disturbances, numbness, tingling, pain, cognitive shutdown, brain fog, dissociation, seizure-like episodes that look like epilepsy but are not epileptic seizures. And here's what makes FND especially hard to understand. Symptoms of FND can change. They can fluctuate hour to hour, day to day, and they can worsen under stress. Or they can appear when someone finally feels safe. There is no consistency. Someone may walk into an appointment and then leave in a wheelchair. They may speak clearly one moment and then lose their voice the next. They may function normally for weeks and then crash without any warning. This variability, it's not inconsistency. What it is the condition itself. One of the most damaging parts and misconceptions about FND is the idea that normal tests mean that nothing is wrong. Imaging looks for structural damage. Blood work looks for chemical imbalances. But FND itself is functional. A normal MRI does not measure signal processing. It doesn't measure nervous system regulation. It does not measure how the brain itself responds to overload. FND is diagnosed through positive clinical signs, not by exclusion. That means that clinicians aren't guessing. But many are not trained to actually recognize what they are seeing. And instead of saying, I don't know, patients are told that there is nothing wrong. Those are not the same thing. From the inside, FND itself feels like betrayal. Like your body is no longer taking orders. Like your brain and muscles speak different languages completely. Like you're watching yourself malfunction in real time. It can feel like trying to move through water, but your limbs are disconnected from intention. Like your thoughts are slow or scattered. Like your body freezes when you need it most. There's often no warning, no build-up, no control. There's no reliable trigger. And because symptoms come and go, people assume that you must have control over them. But you don't. You have no control. FND is strongly linked to nervous system regulation or dysregulation. This can be influenced by physical injury or illness, surgery or medical trauma, chronic stress, emotional trauma, or cumulative overload over time. Not everyone with FND has trauma. Not everyone with trauma develops FND. But the nervous system, it learns the patterns. And when it stays in survival mode for too long, what it can do is it can rewire itself in ways that protect and disable all at the same time. It's not a psychological failure. It is a biological response to overwhelm. If you are trying to explain FND to someone who doesn't understand this, what can help is the following. My brain isn't damaged, but it's not communicating correctly with my body. The symptoms are real, they're involuntary, and they are unpredictable. Or it's a software problem, not broken hardware. A lot of doctors use that kind of terminology. You could also use stress can make it worse, but stress did not cause it, and relaxing does not cure it. You don't owe anyone a performance of illness. You don't. You do not need to prove your symptoms in real time. Your experience is valid even when it's invisible. And if you are a medical professional hearing this and still feel unsure about the condition, FND is not a diagnosis of exclusion. It is not a euphemism for nothing. And it is not helped by dismissal. Skepticism does harm. Belief is not a reward. It is the foundation of care. Patients with FND already live in bodies that we can't trust. And when clinicians don't trust us either, that damage multiplies. You don't need certainty to provide care. You need humility, curiosity, respect. FND, it is treatable, but not with shame, not with disbelief, not with pressure to get better. Treatment may include specialized physiotherapy. It can include occupational therapy, speech therapy, trauma-informed psychological support, nervous system regulation approaches. It can involve a wide array of specialists, but progress is rarely linear. Setbacks are not failure. Fluctuation is not non-compliance. Functional neurological disorder, it forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth. Medicine, it does not know everything. And when uncertainty is met with blame instead of care, the patients, we suffer. FND is real, its symptoms are real, and the people living with it, we deserve dignity, not doubt. And if this helped you understand FND or helped you feel less alone, please share it to more people. Because awareness isn't just education. For many people, it's access to care, it's safety, it's survival. and being believed, it should never be optional.